All right, so right here I have a Bird 2 scooter. I'm gonna go ahead and break this down. This is an auction scooter, decommissioned tire scooter. All right, I don't advise anybody to go out and steal a scooter or anything like that. So unless you have the same scooter that I had, the same way I did, well then, this video is for you. Okay, so I'm gonna show you real quick. Unit here. So you have 1, 2, 3, and 4 screws. They gotta come out. And for me to take those out, I'm using a, what is it? A CR10 security Torx bit. It's got the little hole in the center of it. So go ahead and take those out. All right. So now that you have these 4 screws out, let me see, this black assembly here should just pull out. Just like that. All right. By the way, this deal here, there's a battery in here. It's a 5-volt battery supply. That is what powers on the head unit to the GPS. What you want to do, let me see, I have my camera right. All right. So now what you want to do is you want to disconnect these tabs. Just disconnect those. All of them are coming off. Okay, so now what I'm left with is 2 sleeves of wires. 2 sleeves, one going this way, one going this way. One's going to the brake and one's going to the throttle. What I do from here is I clip it. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I like to clip it high as I can. That way I can have a lot of slack when it comes down to having to show you now. When it comes down to having to wire these wires to this, before I would cut it down here not knowing, and it'd be a lot harder having a solder wire on a wire and all that extra shit. Okay, so you're not using this one. This one's, you can get rid of that. All right, so basically this is the sleeve we're gonna use. It's got the little connector coming out of it. Yeah, you can just, it doesn't matter, you can just pull it off. Yeah, if you do it this way, be careful not to tear your wires, man. See what that does. Bam. So this is not needed, it's trash. Okay, so these wires are going to this throttle right here. The wires you're gonna use is this wire, your positive, your black, which is your negative, and you're gonna use this yellow, which is the switch wire. You're not gonna use this blue wire. Just take that out. You can clip it, you don't even have to use it. In my case, I'm not gonna use it. I'm just gonna wrap it around this. It's not connected to anything live, so I wasn't even worried about it. Just wrap that around. So you got your 3 wires. Strip. 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 Okay, so the connector I'm gonna use for this is gonna be this one right here. So be sure to keep this, or at least keep the connectors that you're gonna need. Just now clip that off. So wire goes with wire. You see what I'm talking about. You got your black with your black, your red with red, and your blue with your blue. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm soldering my black on black, red on red, and it's kind of tricky in this case. You're gonna put your yellow wire with the blue wire. It's gonna be like that. But this is the headlight right here. It goes directly to it. You got a green wire and a white wire. What I'm gonna do is just connect that like that. But that's just showing you that the wire is gonna be connected. I'm still gonna drill a hole through here, connect my wires, put a resistor in parallel, and go from there. Okay, so this connector that I just clipped off of that, I'm gonna go ahead and strip my wires. That way I can get to the fucking copper. All right, so now I'm gonna put my little my heat shrink on my wires. So that part's done. I'm gonna go ahead and work on the bottom now. Let me take this off. All right, so now I'm gonna start with the bottom of the deck. So you have 6 of these big screws here. You have 3 here and then 3 at the back end. To take those off, you're gonna need a CR40 security bit. It's got the center hole, center of it. Y'all see that? Yeah. Alright, so I got one right here on the top, man. It looks like it's jammed, so I'm not sure if that was gonna come out. Okay, so now you're gonna have 4 security screws And to take those off, you're gonna use a CR25 security bit. Alright, so I got those off. Now, what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna go ahead and take these off. It's 4 of them. Use the same size that you use to take those 4 off that I just showed you. That comes off. Now I'm gonna work on the back. Right here on the back wheel, there's 2 of them. 1, 2 on the bottom. They use the same size security bit. So I'll go ahead and take those off now. Pull this off. Go ahead and pull that back part off. Oh shit, let me show y'all. The back plate comes off. So now this will come down. Just like that. So pull this up, pull your wires out. Close your water seal. Have a real small screwdriver with a small point. That way I can take these connectors apart. That was a red and black one. That goes the charging port. There's 3 wires. The one I use for the throttle, and then this one's the one I use for the headlight. All right, so now move to the back. Take off your rubber seal. Put that back on the housing. This door here, you just pull it, pops off, just like that. And you have one more connector down here that goes to the tail light. Just disconnect that. Pull up on the tab and just pull back. Just like that. Should come out. There it is. All right, so so now all I'm stuck with is a battery housing. So now my next step is the battery BMS bypass for the output. Now what I'm gonna do is add my resistor onto this green wire here. Okay, so I'm back. Got my resistor. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add solder onto the back of this. Green wire. And what you're gonna want to do is run that resistor in parallel where I can see what's going on. Alright, so I got that side on. Let's put this side on, and well, this yellow wire came loose, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that back on first. Alright. So I just put my green wire on there, and that's it for the light. If I can get it, man. It's kind of hard to do with just one hand. Alright, so shit. That's what that looks like. Just gotta put some tape on that resistor for rubberized seal, so I'll probably just spray that. That's it. After you do this, you connect your controller. Your light should just turn on after you hit this button. Alright, now moving on to the battery removal. What you're gonna want to do is take these screws off. You got one here. On that opposite side here, you have 1 and 2, so it's 4 total. What you need to remove that is a 8mm socket, and you can use either a hand wrench or a drill gun, doesn't matter. But let me show you how to do this.
Take precautions. I had to. Anyone who comes here.
All right, that's that side there.
I'm coming here. Whoa!
Okay, I took these off already. I was gonna do that the other night, but it was late, so I just snapped it for another day. This side's a little bit harder, man, just for the simple fact that this side here over here has got that heat sink for you to grab onto it with the hammer. But you can pull onto this and it'll come right off. So that's what that looks like. Now let's go ahead and take the battery out. Have the housing open. What you're gonna want to do is just push this white tab in. That'll come right off. This connector here, you just pull out with it. Pull out, come right out. So now you have this. Keep this, because you will need these connectors here and this one too. It's for your charging port. You need that. It's trash. Just pull it out. Pull off your battery connector. motor wire. Go ahead and disconnect that. This little deal here, it's got a tab on it. Push in and pull out. It'll come right off. You want to hold on to this because you're going to need this and this. They go to the motor. So yeah, I'll get to this in a little while. Go ahead and take this battery out. I like to use the butt end of my hammer. Anything that's not metal or anything like that. Alright, so I got the battery out the housing, man, and it's not the easiest way to do it, man, so I wouldn't advise you just doing it like that. The easy way to do that would be to take it off the way I did and then remove this putty from this side and this in here. Then big old blobs will stop the battery from sliding outside of this housing. Okay, so back to these, I was talking about earlier. You want to go ahead and take these little tabs off. Same thing with this deal here. Just twist it off. Before you do that though, make sure you take these off or you'll twist all your wires. There you go. Now you can take this off. Now with a flathead or anything, you can just push that seal out that. Take that off. And now this wire should just slide out. Take the smaller one out first. Slide right off. Alright. You actually need this, so clip this. Same thing, just pop it out with a screwdriver. Take that off. Again, you're not going to use these, those are trash. It's trash. It's trash. Trash. So you need this. This goes to your backlight. This goes to your charging port. And this is this ain't needed for anything, but I'm gonna show y'all why y'all need these connectors here. You're gonna keep these connectors. You're gonna use this 3-wire connector for your throttle. You're gonna use this 2-wire for your headlight. Just clip that, because you're gonna need that for later. You can throw this in the trash pile, because that's no longer needed. Only thing you'll need is this. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take these off, because I'm gonna put me some solder leads on them, make it longer. Maybe some longer extensions on them. I'll show y'all. All right. My connectors. Got me a little wiring kit, man. It cost about 10 bucks. I think it was about 10 bucks, 11 bucks, something like that. Hook up wiring kit. It's got 2, 4, it's got about 6 different wires on there, man, and shit. It's a good deal if you ask me. You can't beat that. All right, so I just clipped all those ends. The thing about this wiring kit is that it's got every single wire that I need for this setup. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add my soldering joints. So I got my throttle wires ready. I got my headlamp wires ready. So y'all know what I do now. I'm gonna show y'all.
And he kept moving, and I had to keep repositioning. Finally, he turns around and busts me. And so I have to walk this mini cannon out of the frame very unsneakily, and it was really awkward. But he just 5 minutes, hyper vigilant. 5 minutes goes by, forgets about.
That's gonna go into there. This is gonna go down the side. So make sure you
Yeah, and the reason it's slippery out there.
I'm gonna clip it right here on my right here where my fingers at. Right here where this bottom hole is at.
A remote control helicopter in that has paintball guns mounted on either side.
Alright, so here goes the wires. I just took them off. Got my length straightened out. Got that ready to go. Heat shrink to my wires. Okay, so I don't have too many of these right here. I gotta order some more. I'm gonna go ahead and clip them and just use this. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is open up my controller and get to the 5-volt supply that I need to get my headlight to work. Five volt. All right, so just a note, man, when you're doing the soldering, you want to make sure you ain't got none of these connected to each other, because I mean, you don't even know, you could be connecting a negative and a positive. You could short your board or whatever. So just go over your work and make sure everything's straight. So now that's done, you can go ahead and put your top back on. All right, so that's what it looks like when you get through with it. After it's said and done, it looks like one of the normal settings that you get with your controller. You know what I mean? So bam. Instead of having to go buy you a step down converter to get your light working, you just run this and you got your light working. I'm gonna show y'all that in a minute. Now I got these taped down because just to get the headache out the way, none of this is gonna be used except for probably this, which is the intelligent wires, and this right here, your phase wires, throttle, motor wire, your power wire. All right, so now I'm moving on to my throttle wire, which is gonna be this one right here. Okay, so now I have my headlight and my throttle finished with. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and connect my battery wires. I bought these on Amazon. They're actually big, way too big. So, but it's what I got, man. And I didn't know the size of them, and I kind of went too big with it. I like to add a little bit of tape. Okay, now comes the black wire. All right, so now we're gonna move over to the motor wires, and the last is the phase wires. All right, so now I'm about to do these motor wires, these 3 motor wires. Just clip them, bury these ends, like that. So last thing I have is my hall wires. Go ahead and get to it. Okay, so this is it. My hall wires. Got 5 wires. So those wires right here are gonna go onto this. It's gonna be the same. It's got this connected to it. So if it's got this on it, this was go to this. Go ahead and clip this. All right, strip your wires. That's it, it's ready to go. All right, so one last thing, I'm about to put the controller inside the housing and wrap my shit up. Take these off, man, because they're just in the way. Same thing to the back end and you're done.
Are you gonna drink it or not?
That's good enough. Okay, so I'm gonna start off by putting this on. So now, after connecting this, it should pop, it should spark.
So I think that someday we're gonna make eye contact. That's cool. This musical is gonna be lit.
All right. Wires I got them taped off. So you connect them, put them the right way, and watch this. Just like that. But what you want to do is you want to reconnect them because the tires spun the wrong way. So let's try out this headlight. Nope. Make sure you put your charging port wire back on. Forgot to do that. That's where that goes. And it's the last one here. Which goes to your back light. Plugs in right there. I don't have my step down converter, so I'm gonna go ahead and skip that part. Real quick, I got my headlight working. I just came up here and swapped these wires out. I put that yellow on the green. I put the green on the yellow. And that was it. So that first part of the video, man, y'all can just scratch that out. If your light's not working, do this instead. And your headlight will turn on. That's it. But also, man, to the person who was asking me about the hub motor, they wanted to know what the rating was, and it's right there. It's a 400 watt.